Hey guys, so our first two videos we talked about banking and kicking. The first one was a kick shot video where we established a baseline kick shot where you can hit the cue ball from different angles on the table and still use that baseline shot to get close to making contact. So what we're going to do today is more about it's just straight ball pocketing, not banking, not kicking, just pocketing balls and establishing a baseline aiming point for specific angles on straight shots. So I'm going to flip the phone around here. What I've got set up here is our object ball, which is the 9-ball, obviously. This first cue ball, I'm going to refer to that in the video as the ghost ball. And this little nail sitting on the top of that represents our vertical axis, and it's just going to help with visualization as I talk about this. So I think everybody's kind of familiar with ghost ball, but if you're not, the ghost ball is lined up perfectly with the 9-ball. It's contacting it. They are touching at the exact point where they need to touch for the 9-ball to go in the pocket. The ghost ball theory states that no matter where on the table our cue ball is, if you run your cue ball straight through that ghost ball position, you should pocket the 9. So what we're going to do to establish a baseline shot is we're going to practice some of the common angles that you'll see. I think the most common angles that you encounter on a pool table are between 30 degrees and 45 degree angles. So a lot of our shots are going to be aimed in about the same spot. So this cue ball, I'll put it on the second spot. The 9-ball is sitting on the rack spot, the head spot. So what we have here is a 45 degree angle from here to the 9-ball to the pocket. That's a 45 degree angle. Another way to visualize it is, it's kind of hard to tell in the video, but we've got our 9-ball sitting on the spot, straight up to the second spot there, over to the second spot down there. That's a square, perfect square. So obviously spot to 9-ball to spot is 90 degree angle. The diagonal going through it is 45 degrees. So just kind of helps to visualize it when, even if the 9-ball is not sitting on the spot, you can kind of use the diamonds to kind of figure out where a 90 degree, or what angle your cue ball is sitting to the object ball. But how this works is, if I get behind my cue ball and I come straight over it and over my ghost ball, we kind of see where the center line of our ghost ball is in comparison to the 9-ball. And if my finger is the width of a Q-tip, or the shaft, I guess, you can see that the edge of my finger or my cue stick is at about the left edge of our object ball. So if I were going to be aiming this shot from behind my cue ball, I could just run my cue stick. It's really hard to get the correct angle here with the phone, but I could run my cue stick straight through. Let's go ahead and move that out of the way and set up my line to where the right edge of my cue stick is touching the left edge of the 9-ball. And I know that that's about the position where I need to hit it. Now, it's actually, in reality, a little bit further out from the edge of the 9-ball because of something called cut-induced throw. It's just a principle of physics, really. If our cue ball is traveling in this direction and it contacts the 9 ball going this way, it's going to push the 9 ball basically up that line. If we contact it at our correct contact spot, I know that the line goes straight to the pocket, but just because of physics, this ball traveling this direction, it will push the 9 ball a little bit that way, offline. So just something to be aware of. I don't want you thinking about it during matches or anything like that, but for our baseline aiming position, you really don't have to worry about it, because once you figure out the exact spot for you to aim on these shots, you'll get used to it. Now I know the scratch is really in play here, and that's fine. If you scratch every time when you're practicing this, I don't care. We're just trying to establish and get good at making 45-degree angle shots. And I actually used to warm up before matches hitting this exact shot, and I would do it 5 to 10 times and make sure I made it every time. And once I was doing that, I knew I was comfortable and I was in stroke. And it got to the point where these shots no longer bothered me, because the reason I started doing it was because I had difficulty with that shot quite often in matches. So I wanted to practice it. So how you can apply this in a match is, you can kind of look at this and draw a line from your cue ball to your object ball. If it helps to draw a 90-degree line coming straight out, you can do that, and then bisect it so you've got a straight line going through like this. 90-degree angle comes out like this, so what's half of the 90-degree angle in the straight line? This is actually a little bit smaller than a 45-degree angle, but if it were, let's just move it up to here. So now we've got our 45-degree angle. I know, all right, I just have to aim outside edge of the 12. My cue stick is not touching the left side of the object ball, but it's a little further out. And I have my line. And I just need to send the cue ball down this line, and I'll pocket the ball. So you can also do this, like I said, 30 degrees. 30-degree shots are also pretty common. Obviously, nobody's gonna be pulling out a protractor and figuring out exact angles, but general rule of thumb is if you hold your fingers up like this, that's about a 30-degree angle. So the next thing that you want to do, and maybe you want to start with this one because 30 degrees is a little easier than 45. So maybe you start with this one and you figure out exactly where your aim spot is. It's probably going to be where the left edge of your stick. See if I can get the camera over this. The left edge of your stick is at the left edge of the 9 ball. But you figure that out on your own when you're practicing. Perform the exact same angle. Maybe grab a piece of chalk and make a mark on the table so you know exactly where to put your cue ball every time and hit your object ball off the spot every time. And practice that over and over. And once you get good at making 30 degree and 45 degree angle shots, you'll start to see them more often in your games, and you'll be a lot more comfortable making those shots when they come up. So hope this is helpful. As always, love to hear your feedback. Take care, guys. Bye.